Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about texting and driving. And I have like two reasons I think why people still text and drive. First of all, can we talk about how scary texting and driving is? I've been working on my texting and driving because I used to do it so much it was scary. And me personally, my thought process was the fact that I'm a very good multitasker. When I was working at Best Buy, I was like, I'm a good multitasker. When I was working at Walmart, I'm a good multitasker. And I did. I was able to do a lot of things at once. And people were like, oh, wow, you are so good. Like, you can do all these things. But until recently, I figured out that multitasking is like really counterproductive because you're, you're dividing you're dividing your attention to different tasks. So that means each task is not getting the attention that it deserves. So there's a good chance you're gonna mess up. And now I didn't mess up a lot, but it just meant that if I wasn't multitasking, I could have done all of those tasks better. So multitasking, so that means like I used to like text and drive. I used to like eat, and I probably sometimes I'll be eating, texting, and driving, or be like eating, texting, drinking, not alcohol, but water, or maybe at the time most likely it was Coke, but I don't drink soda anymore. But we feel like we could do so many things. Like I started this video about texting and driving, but how about doing your makeup and driving, getting dressed and driving? We do so many things while driving, which is ridiculous. And driving is something that needs our full attention. I mean, seriously, it needs our full attention. We are on a road. Like, people, not only is our own life in our hand when we're driving, but other people. It could be kids, it could be animals, all the roadkill that happens, probably because people aren't looking. Yeah, you might see somebody before you see an animal, but yeah, if you're not looking at the road, if you're looking at your phone, you're definitely not going to see a little squirrel, trying to cross the road. And it's not the squirrel's fault, We're the ones that kind of invaded and built the houses and all that, built the roads and kind of got into their environment. So they shouldn't have to pay for our ignorance for texting and driving. And it gets even more dangerous than that. If you're texting and driving, what if a deer or, God forbid, a moose walks in front of you? It's not funny, but whatever. There's a chance that you could die. Um, it's not pretty. So all these things that we do while driving, why do we do them? Well, one of the first reasons is like usually a lot of us are always running late, and it's usually going to somewhere, like maybe it's going shopping or most likely it's going to a job or going to school, going somewhere that we don't want to go, and then we end up being late, and then because we're late, we're running and we're in a hurry. So then that's when you're putting your makeup, that's when you're getting dressed in the car, things that you should have done beforehand. So if you improve your time management, and make sure that you're on time, you won't have to speed. We didn't talk about speeding. Imagine doing all those things I just said while speeding. Driving is dangerous. So time management is key here. And if you feel like if you're always being late going somewhere, like if you're always late to your job, maybe you should quit your job. If you're always late going to school, maybe you're going to school for the wrong reason. Maybe you should drop out of school and figure out what you want to do with your life, Don't put your life at jeopardy just for a job or for a school, or something that you're not invested in. Another reason is I believe that we do it is because we're just not really aware of how bad it is and how bad our addiction to our phones are. When I first tried to stop texting and driving, and I did end up failing at the time, there was times where I would literally be driving and then somehow my phone just magically appears in my hand. I'm like, what are you doing here? So my body is just like naturally just reaching for my phone at all times. It's crazy how how connected we have gotten to these devices. They're a drug. They can be. Pretty much anything can be a drug nowadays. With humans, we can get addicted to anything. I'm sure there's somebody out there that's addicted to staring at walls, So you gotta be careful. If you're that addicted to your phone, if you feel like you can't be without your phone, like if let's say you forgot your phone and you have anxiety, which a lot of us do, that's not good. Like one time my phone died on a train, and guess what? I didn't know what to do with myself. I just started looking at people. I just felt awkward. I'm like, And eventually I'm just, you know what, I'll start talking to people. I talked a little bit. But yeah, it was just so weird for me to be without my phone. So that shows you we need to disconnect from our phones for a little bit. Maybe throw your phone in the trunk. Yo, honestly, do it. Throw it in the trunk. And I think one of the big reason why we text and drive, which is the big reason why we do a lot of things that doesn't serve us, a lot of things that don't serve us, is the fact that it's a lack of awareness, a lack of self-love, a lack of we don't pay too much attention to ourselves. We're so distracted by everything going on in the world, distracted by food, distracted by TV, distracted by people, distracted by our jobs, by our bills, everything. I mean, anything. You could look at anything around, name it, distracted by our clothes, whatever, because there's just so many things that we have to have, and then they're all distractions, and then we end up forgetting about ourselves. So we end up forgetting about our self-worth. We end up forgetting about how we forget to value ourselves. And since we're not valuing ourselves, we can't value others. So like, I'm sure people text and drive with their kids in the car and they don't think about it too much because they're not thinking about themselves. So how can they really think about others, They're more focused on getting back on that text, replying back on that text, or liking that Instagram post, or replying on Twitter, or tweeting something, or maybe even Snapchatting. So it's crazy, all the distractions and everything that we have going on in our lives, that we forget about ourselves. So I implore you to not forget about yourself. And the way I do it is whenever I wake up in the morning, I pray and I thank myself, and I thank my body. I have these beads. I just kind of go around, and for every bead I say something that I'm thankful for, and every day that list increases, and it's powerful. And you can even do this as well. You can go in front of a mirror and just look at yourself, look at your face. Like, how often do you actually look at your face and admire your face, admire your eyes that let you see, your lips that let you talk, your hands that let you touch. I mean, you are a walking miracle, and you're over here texting and driving. You're risking your life for what? For what? So I'll leave you guys with that message. It's an important message. It's the message that even I myself need to hear. I'm almost there. I'm almost there to the point where I don't text and drive. Like, I'm so proud of myself. And thank yourself. Like, if you try to stop, don't give up. Like, pay attention to how you're doing it. Maybe you went 30 minutes this time without texting and driving. The little wins, celebrate them. Celebrate the little wins and celebrate yourself, guys. And I'll see you guys in the next one.